the same guess, but apparently he can put up with only one Kartik at a time. So Dinesh Kartik has been flicked, and Murali Kartik is here. So welcome everyone. Second Test match, but the best thing about the entire Test match was none of the previous happenings from the last Test match. I would just say that it was just simple, pure Test match cricket. What do you reckon, Polly?
Yeah, good pitch. I thought that was the key. I mean, there was assistance up front, but none of the drastic stuff. No up and down, no massive turn. And if you applied yourself, I think you can get yourself some runs. I think it's going to be a good surface. I think it's going to turn as the game goes on. But initially, for the first day, nothing wrong with this one. And a good start, obviously. Kuwati's first Test match. They're on the board at the 30th host of Test matches in India. And there's the score. In South Africa, I'm afraid, 247, you think, oh, in the context of what we've seen in the series, happy, but I'm not happy. 6 wickets down. Everyone got a start. You needed someone on that kind of pitch, which looks like a goodie, to have kicked on and got a big score. Some of the dismissals were a little bit loose. I mean, we always talk about how we want the mid-off and mid-on to be up to try and lure people into getting out, and they got lured in and, lost 2 wickets in that fashion. So I think they will be. I think in and around the break as well, I think was an important time because of such a good start. I thought Rickleton looked good, and then straight away after the tea break, he nicked off. Stubbs looked good for his 49, and then was a little bit loose to get out of that one. Temba trying to go over the top. Dazorzi is probably the one who's going to be spewing at this stage. New ball taken. Is the light good enough? Isn't the light good enough? We're going to wait and see. And then as we're waiting to see, he nicks off. And then Mulder will be disappointed that he chipped it straight to mid-off. But I thought that the key for me, that the best performer, I thought was Kuldeep Yadav.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Because when you look at the entire scenario, or possibly the one man who was on a mission, a man who stood tall, was Kuldeep Yadav, and just the way he bowled.
He did. He looked like he had a plan too. I mean, to bowl on those kind of surfaces on day one, there wasn't really much to work with, maybe a bit of steep bounce. But I tell you what, every time I'm amazed, when I see Bumrah come onto board and I look at his stats, I go, impressed. Average strike rate. Kahisa Rabada comes on, average strike rate. Yeah. He came on today and it's gone under the radar for me. It's like, what? He averages 21 or whatever it may be. 122. And his strike rate's less than 40. I was like,
yeah, for a spinner.
And it's not a small sample size. Sometimes after 5 games or something, I think it's like almost 13, 14, 17 test matches, somewhere around there. So, I mean, that's really impressive. And for a guy who's been in and out, never really been able to settle in, I think he's done a remarkable job.
Yeah, 100%. I think he was a man on a mission. And just the way he bowled, 3 for 48, sometimes those figures don't tell you a story. And for me, the big story was that even on a good track, he's pretty economical. He's not somebody who gives away runs. So hence the reluctance to use him in that previous Test match. And I know we were talking about it as well, that it was always Akshar Patel trying to hold one end up and trying to go with Ravindra Jadeja or someone else from the other end, but not Kuldeep Yadav. Having that confidence in Kuldeep Yadav on a good track like this, he was the one. And I keep using this word, bag of tricks. You can use skullduggery, whatever you want to use. But he's been pretty special, just the way he mixed things up. For me, especially the way he lured Tristan Stubbs, making him drive a few balls and then taking one away from the right-hander who likes to play with his hands, who likes to drive. He's got great reach and great hands. I thought he bowled beautifully in setting certain batters up.
Yeah, I think the key for me too is that as India tore away, I think there's no doubt that your Jadeja and your Akshar and Washington Sundar on surfaces in India that are turning, real handful because they're accurate. But sometimes when you go away on the wickets, maybe in South Africa or England or Australia, it'll be about the wrist spin and about how you can create deception through flight and the variations. So the fact that he's gaining confidence, and particularly from today's kind of surface, which wasn't a typical one that we've seen in Indian pitches over the last, 18 months to 2 years, I thought his flight and his deception was good. He's going to bowl the odd bad ball, the wrist spinners do. But I think he still stood out and performed really well to have that 3 for 30 odd.
Talking about entertainment, Polikaka, Shrikant Tiwari, family man, is back after 4 years. He's somebody who's single-minded with sharp focus, just like Kuldeep was.
Where has he been?
He's been away for 4 years. So we've been waiting with bated breath about him coming back. And it's going to be a great comeback. So here's the sneak preview.
Travel agent, na? आपका कोड नेम ही है क्या? टाइगर, पैंथर, लायन?
इंटेलिजेंस में काम करते हैं बेटा, सर्कस में नहीं।
कहीं उन लोगों ने हमें रन आउट करा दिया
तो अभी कौन सा सेंचुरी मार रहा है तू?
It's a full-time spa, part-time family man.
Yeah.
He looks like he's not to be messed with.
No, not at all. He's got the charm of, that's why he's called the family man, because you will see him as a next door neighbor, but he's super sharp and he's super crafty. So yeah.
Got the English subtitles so you can watch it on Prime with the subtitles?
100%. Just be good with the settings. I know you're not pretty good technologically, so am I, but you will know where the settings.
Don't give away my secrets.
Apologies for that. Now that you will be watching Family Man and Shrikant Tiwari, but apart from Kuldeep, who are the other bowlers who impressed you tonight?
I mean, both the seamers got some nice movement up front. I just think they almost needed to, with that nature of that pitch, they needed to try and be a little bit fuller and say to them, drive me for those first 5-10 overs when the ball was nipping around. Nitish Reddy, I thought, short of a gallop. He didn't quite look. He offered up a lot of balls to hit. But the rest of them, I mean, Washington Sundar, he won't know what to do with himself. 14 overs in the match. He bowled one in the match in Calcutta, so he'll be feeling a little bit stiff tomorrow. And then Jadeja was back to his normal stuff. We've already delved into Kuldeep, 3 for 48. I think everyone was good. As I say, it wasn't that easy. The first hour nipped around, but it wasn't that easy. It wasn't one of those wickets where you just rock up and things happen. And they almost had to start to think of other plans. You know, they had to come up with, there was a stage where Siraj was bowling bounces, and it was like we had to go to plan B, C, and maybe even D at times. And that's good for Test cricket because you don't want them just to rock up and say, I only just have to land it, and you're going to get.
Yeah, it was interesting because, as you rightly said, first session, the ball didn't do a bit, and Bumrah was outstanding. Got some turn, especially for Washington Sundar, who was the first one, who was the first spinner. It seems as if, as an apology for not using him in the previous game.
Well rested.
And I can understand. I know where I'm coming from when I say this. Sometimes when you are the third spinner, I call it the third spinner syndrome. Because if you are used as the third spinner, as soon as you get the ball, you want to get wickets because lest the captain take the ball away from you. And this time when you got it first, you're suddenly thinking, oh, what's happening here? So I need to do something special. So you end up doing more than what you need to do rather than knowing that, oh, I need to settle into my bowling rhythm and I'll be bowling. So I can understand where Washington Sundar is coming from. And also, it seemed as if Bumrah was the answer. Every time you needed a wicket, it was as if, can we turn to Bumrah? And I think that over-reliance on Bumrah can harm India in the long run because we do have good enough bowlers.
Yeah, you do, but I mean, I suppose you have to just rely when a guy's as good as Bumrah, he's always going to make things happen. And who got the breakthrough today? It was Bumrah again. He knocked over Aiden Markham after having the catch dropped off his bowling as well. So he made that initial inroads. And I think the second new ball is going to be key tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah, it already has been key.
Yeah, fortunately, key for India just before the bad light. And it'll be the case tomorrow. It'll be interesting to see when we get to the ground. I mean, it was first day today there was probably a bit of moistness in the surface. Will that be there tomorrow because of the dew and the early start?
I think I'm thinking it will be there because it's winter here, eastern part of India, and early start. So there will be that inherent dampness for the first session is what I'm thinking. So all this chat, I need to put Shaun Pollock in the hot spot. So the question for you now, Shaun, is first day as captain for Rishabh Pant. It's a big task. It's a big responsibility. It's a big feeling. How many points out of 10 do you give him?
Well, first of all, he gets lots of points for keeping mid up for the spinners because we've been hopping on that idea for a long time, and we got it today and brought 2 wickets, so that's a good plus for India.
And Ravindra Jadeja did that as well. He was like, "Yeah, see, I told you."
A harder surface to captain on. I think there wasn't that much going. I think he showed the patience that was required, and he had to kind of think of plan B, plan C, and maybe even plan D at times because of the old-fashioned nature of today. So for day one, he could probably hover around. I mean, 6 wickets. He took the second new ball. He got around. Probably give him 8 out of 10.
Lovely.
8 out of 10, not wrong.
I think that's a big tick mark. And yeah, also for all the chatter and chirp behind. He keeps everyone going.
It keeps everyone entertained.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
from energy levels, definitely an 8.
Now, it's time to be fast forward. What do you think South Africa will be happy with where they are right now? Because they do bat to 11.
Yeah, they do. And send me to somebody nice to see him back. He's a guy who can churn out some runs. And obviously, Calvin has probably been a little bit short of runs over the last period, in Pakistan and here. I think they need to eke out everything they possibly can. So whatever they can do, closest to 400 as they can possibly get. I think we'll see whether they're going to be left to rue the batters getting in and then not getting big scores by the way India go. So if India go on and post something substantial, then the test match will be looked back at and say, we had a chance in the first innings where people got in, they needed to go on and get big scores. If they can manage to pick up wickets and it becomes even Stevens, and they won't worry about that too much. But I can't see that surface getting any worse. I think it's going to get better for a period, and then I think it's going to start turning. So when India do get to bat, I think it's still going to be good.
Yeah, I'm hoping so too. But I just do feel that just looking at that Indian batting lineup and just the way Simon Harmer bowled in that first match, his change of pace and subtleties, and the fact that you've got 6 left-handers, he's going to be a handful. He's going to be a handful on a track which will aid bounce. And also as the game goes on, the red soil pitches tend to spin and spin fast. We've already seen the odd one which spun. Like there was one from Washington Sundar into Markram, it spun sharply. The one which got Ryan Rickleton spun sharply. So the odd ones have spun sharply. And as the pitch wears out, I think it'll tend to go faster. So Simon Harmer is going to be a handful, is what I feel. I've actually enjoyed watching him bowl.
Yeah, it's also a change of bowling for South Africa. So they've gone with the extra spin option of Mutasami. So a lot will be on the shoulders of Ian Mulder, who's kind of underutilized in that Calcutta test. So he'll have to step up. And I think Marco Jansen could be a handful for that new ball. I think Suraj has shown that if you put your back in it, there is some nice bounce. So that could be interesting to see. But yeah, I would say India would be happier with the day today in South Africa because of the 6 wickets.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's what we have for day one. And we're really looking forward to this test match because the first match went by in a flash. So 2 and a bit days and we didn't even know what was happening.
You're talking about Australia, England?
No, that too, because we were watching that too while we were commentating. But yeah, this test match against 2 good sides, against the World Test Champions, promises to be a good one. First game for Guwahati, and hopefully it'll be a good game. So thanks for watching us. We'll be back with you tomorrow with Cricbuzz.